You know, we are up against it, and this is why we need to get as much support as possible, and we really appreciate the support that comes in from supporters as opposed to, you know, just us survivors standing alone, you know, trying to fight, because ultimately it shouldn't really be up to us survivors. We've already been through hell and back and survived and come out the other end, but we all are very aware that telling our stories is a vital part of the destruction of SRA. So we do our best. You know, we do our best, and, you know, there's a lot of incredible survivors speaking out and, you know, going through very difficult challenges doing that. You know, myself, Rachel Vaughan, Annika Lucas, Max Lowen, you know, you've got other survivors that put their stories out on our pages. We've got Zoe, our admin on the SRA page, who shares in the most courageous way I've ever known a survivor to share. So, you know, it's happening. Everyone's doing their bit somewhere in the survivor community. But to get the supporters on side now that want to fight for the children and the babies and to stop these atrocities, you know, it helps us. It helps us enormously. So if you're new to this community, welcome, and just stay strong, stay brave. Muster up every bit of courage you possibly can and share the truth in every possible way that you can. Tessa, lovely to see you, darling. I do read the Telegram, by the way. I dip in and out of your wonderful messages, and but I'll speak to you about that another time. But thank you. Lucille, lovely to see you too, darling. Right, okay, so what I'm going to touch on first and foremost with my live today is I want to just get straight down to business with the subject of reptilians. I'm not going to spend too long on this. I am going to be very blunt and to the point, okay? Because the work we're doing to expose satanic ritual abuse, there's no time for bullshit, okay? Children are suffering week in, week out, being tortured, being sacrificed, being murdered, being raped to death, literally, being held underground, you know, in tunnels, in dungeons, and, you know, all the horrific places where we were all held as in captivity as children. Area 51 being, you know, another big one of those. So there's no time for bullshit, because we need to stop these atrocities, you know, as soon as we possibly can. So, reptilians. I have something that irritates the shit out of me, and that is people that comment on it in a way that they think they know the truth and the facts because they've read it in a book, and they don't. They don't. So my message to these people that think that reptilians are just demons, this is what I want to say to you. Unless you have lived underground in a tunnel with all these species, because trust me, reptilians are the tip of the iceberg. There are many colonies of many different species that are not human that live underground on planet Earth. So unless you spent your childhood there, or your teenage years, or your adult life there, you do not know what you're talking about. Reptilians are an actual species, an actual life form. They're not human, but they are a species of their own, and they have colonies underground. Now, I lived amongst these, and I can tell you they are not just demons. They are influenced by demonic energy, for sure. And I'll explain that as well in a minute. But they are physical, okay? You can touch them, you can smell them. and they stink. You can hear them. You can hear their noises. You can communicate with them. Some are a bit more intelligent than others to be able to actually communicate. But they are physical being. So when I get people leaving comments about, oh, reptilians are just demons summoned by, you know, the satanic ritual, you are wrong. You are very wrong. And the reason why I get so passionate about this is because you're causing damage to the cause by being so self-righteous that you think you know better than somebody like myself that has lived underground amongst these beings for my whole childhood. And many, 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 many other survivors have done the same. So just because you read it in a religious book that they're demons, please don't assume that you know best and that that is the truth, because you are wrong and you are damaging the cause to expose satanic ritual abuse. For me, that is unacceptable. I will fight for this cause till my last breath, and I have always said that, because to me the most important thing is that we stop these crimes against humanity, against our children. So, reptilians are real. Now, what I will tell you is, in satanic rituals, and I will share my own experience, okay? I was a victim in satanic rituals numerous times, as I've spoken about, with the royals and their reptilians, okay? The royals are reptilians. They're not just humans that then take a different form because the demons come in. They are reptilians. So what they do is, in a ritual, they will summons demons. Yes, of course, that's what satanic rituals are. It's summoning Satan and the demons and so on and so forth. And that will be their moment where they will shape shift into their reptilian form. So a lot of these reptilians walk amongst us on planet Earth, and they have the capacity to shape shift into human form and to their true reptilian form. That is how it works. So yes, there is demonic involvement in satanic rituals. Of course there is. Okay? But it doesn't mean that reptilians aren't real. So what I really want to push is, if you want to learn about these things, ask a survivor the question. We may not always be able to answer you there and then, and you have to honour that too. But so much information is on this page. Just this page, the SRA page, there's information everywhere now, where survivors are speaking the truth about satanic ritual abuse. The survivors know the truth. The other thing that I hear is, oh yeah, but you were drugged. Ugh. So maybe you was imagining it. Oh, God. So, no, that's not true either. Okay? Let's all just try and advance somewhat, okay? Because so many of you are doing incredible with being able to handle this truth and share it, okay? But the true source of information are the survivors, are our testimonies. Not the Bible or any other religious books. Those books, and I'm not going to get into a religious debate, I have respect for anybody that is finding love and peace within their worlds. But those books were written by man, ultimately. Freemasons generally, when it comes to the Bible. So just have a little bit of open-mindedness that not everything written is true. The truth comes from the people that have been through it, the survivors, and the close friends of survivors, the close supporters. They can tell you so much information. So please show some humility towards survivors. Please don't think you know best. And just respect what we have been through, come out the other side of, and found the courage to speak out about. And we go through hell to do that. I have been targeted in the most horrific ways since speaking out. From one end of the spectrum, like I said about earlier, you know, the stupid people that are social media attention seekers, right up until, you know, up to the other end of the spectrum of, you know, the worst level of Satanisms and, you know, Satanists and, you know, the high ups. So I know what it feels like to go through hell to speak my truth. Believe you me, we don't do it for the fun of it, okay? I think I've aged 10 years in the last 3 years. I mean, you know, it shows. If you look at a video of me when I first started speaking out and look at me now, trust me, I've been destroyed physically. But, you know, that's vanity, and I'm way past caring about that. All I care about are the children and destroying SRA, because that's my justice, okay? A lot of us won't get justice in the judicial system, you know, but justice for me is the fact that I did survive, and I can speak, and I am a fighter, you know, the true sense of a warrior, because I will not shut up. I'm not going to go silent. And trust me, they have tried in every which way to get me to go silent, and I'm never going to while there's breath in my body, or until I know every child on this planet is safe and every satanic, disgusting, vile, verming thing has left the planet. So that's just me covering reptilians, okay? James, you're right, there is no justice system, you're right. Okay, so